The Arc of Time. The year was 2247. Earth, once vibrant and teeming with life, was now a dystopian shell of its former self. War had ravaged the planet, nuclear fallout painted the skies in hues of deathly gray, and humanity was scattered, clinging to survival amidst scorched cities and poisoned lands. Dr. Julian Cole, a physicist and inventor, had spent decades not in pursuit of victory in the war but of escape. Escape for him and his young son, Noah. Dr. Cole's obsession had yielded the impossible, a functioning time machine. It wasn't sleek, it wasn't beautiful. It was raw machinery cobbled together from scavenged components, humming with unstable energy and held together as much by hope as by bolts. But it worked. Julian had tested it, a nail-biting experiment that sent an apple back to 1883 and confirmed its return as a Victorian artifact. Julian realized that staying on Earth in this timeline was no future for Noah. They couldn't change the past without erasing themselves, but they could inhabit it. Julian selected a date far removed from modern chaos, 5 BC, in the era of the Roman Empire, during the dawn of what he saw as one of history's most pivotal events, the birth of Christ. On a cold and desolate morning, with ash swirling in the air, Julian activated the time machine. Noah clutched his father's hand, his face half hidden under a hood, eyes wide with apprehension. The machine roared to life, emitting light so intense that their surroundings dissolved into a kaleidoscope of color. And then, silence. Bethlehem's horizon. The two stumbled out of the machine into a world untouched by machines, factories, or war. Rolling hills stretched into the horizon, dotted with olive trees swaying in the breeze. The air was sweet and alive, carrying the distant melody of shepherds calling their flocks. They realized they had arrived outside the town of Bethlehem. Julian had read stories and legends of this place, but nothing could prepare him for the stark simplicity of life here. Their modern clothing and language marked them as outsiders, so they adopted local garments and learned enough Aramaic to blend in. Julian offered his expertise as a healer, drawing on medical knowledge he'd brought from the future. Noah befriended local children, his laughter echoing for the first time in years, unburdened by war. But something remarkable happened. Julian, a man driven by logic and science, found himself drawn to the whispers of prophecy surrounding a child soon to be born. The villagers spoke of a young woman, Mary, expecting a child under mysterious circumstances. Her humility, her strength, touched something in Julian that no equation or invention ever had. The birth of light. When the night came, filled with stars brighter than Julian had ever seen in his future skies, word spread that the baby had been born. Julian and Noah stood amidst the crowd of villagers outside a humble stable. Noah's small hand tightened around his father's as they gazed at the scene, a newborn cradled in his mother's arms, surrounded by shepherds and animals, with an air of peace that seemed to ripple through time itself. Julian realized that he had traveled through time not just to escape war but to witness hope at its purest. It was a revelation as transformative as any scientific discovery. He vowed that he and Noah would live their lives here in service to this simple but profound era. Epilogue. Dr. Julian Cole abandoned his title as a scientist but became a shepherd of people in his own way, using his knowledge of the future to aid his community while embracing the timeless lessons of humility and compassion. Noah grew up in a world untouched by war, carrying with him the wisdom of his father and the boundless hope he'd found among the stars over Bethlehem. And the time machine? It remained hidden, buried beneath the sands, a relic of a broken world that Julian chose to leave behind for good.